Welcome to Baxter Bell Yoga. Once again, I'm in my home studio. It's still COVID-19 lockdown, and thanks for joining me today. Just a couple of quick reminders. Remember, you can now take live streaming online classes with me from anywhere in the country or anywhere in the world, for that matter, 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. So check out my website for my schedule. I also have some upcoming workshops that are going to happen also on covering some great topics. So that's also listed on my website. So check that out soon. You can also find a link to buy my book, Yoga for Healthy Aging, along with t-shirts at my website, right? There's a trend happening here. And finally, one thing that's not on my website is longer on-demand videos, which you can find from the website on the screen right now. Look for their practice channel, and I've got a lot of stuff stored there, and you can enjoy that from the comfort of your home anytime you want to take a class. All right, without further ado, let's see what our pose of the day. Today's posture practice is going to be an investigation of a dynamic sequence that I shared with you several years ago now. I actually filmed this particular sequence at the Feathered Pipe Ranch in Helena, Montana. And although at the time of this filming, it's the 2020 pandemic of COVID-19, and we had to cancel our workshops there, it's a place I typically take people every summer. So if you happen to be watching this, you might check my website and take a look and see when the next time I'm going to be there. I'm hoping it's going to be August of 2021. So this pose is a forward bend, which is going to obviously work the hips, the spinal muscles, the core muscles of the body. The arms go up and down, so there's some work in the shoulders. And it can be a nice way to strengthen the back as long as there's no pre-existing history of low back issues. So definitely keep an eye on that. The butt doesn't drop down as far as it would in child's pose. So if you have a little restriction in the knees, you might still be able to do this pose. But the reason I'm showing you a variation of Dynamic Thunderbolt pose today, in fact, we're going to be doing Dynamic Thunderbolt pose with a block, is that a lot of my students recently have mentioned that it was really difficult to get the side of the head down to the ground when they did the forward bending action. And I have a great alternative for that I've actually used over the years. And so that brought it to mind. And after the first class or two that I did this week, I started including this as an option. So an option is to raise the floor up so your head doesn't have to go down so far, so you don't have to feel like you're going to gain momentum and accidentally kind of drop down too quickly towards the earth. So the block's a great little alternative. I'm going to show you the sequence once to each side without the block, so you can get a sense of what that looks like, and certainly take a look at my older video on that as well, Dynamic Thunderbolt pose. And then I'll show you how it looks with the block, and we'll do a couple rounds. So you'll want a little padding for your knees and a block that you like to use in your practice. So I'm going to give you a side view so you can see this more easily. And this is a sequence that I learned when I was studying in India in 2005 at the Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram. So it's part of the tradition of Krishnamacharya that involves these little mini vinyasas. So we repeat things multiple times to both warm up the body, to create more flexibility and more strength, actually. So a beautiful combination of the different physical skills that we like to talk about in yoga for healthy aging. So here's the sequence without the block, and then I'll show it to you with the block. So on an inhale, you can take your arms forward and up, and then as you exhale, you're going to bow down. You're going to turn your head to one side, so the side of the head comes down to the floor. You'll notice my hips are up in the air a little bit, and I placed one hand on top of the other on the lower back. On the inhale, I'm going to reverse that action, come up. I might gaze gently at my thumbs. On the exhale, I'm going to go to the second side, turning my head to the right now as my head lightly touches down on the ground. And then inhaling, coming up and out. And just to finish one little mini vinyasa, I might exhale my arms down and then repeat that sequence several times. So again, if it's a little difficult to get down without kind of dropping down suddenly, which is going to feel a little vulnerable for the neck area, then simply placing a block out where you think your head's going to come down, so I don't know exactly where that's going to be. If I lay my block lengthwise, I have more surface area to go to. So once I have a sense that that's going to be a good spot, let's go ahead and try Dynamic Thunderbolt. We'll do 2 rounds, a round being turning to the head to the left and then the right, and we'll repeat that again, just so you can do a couple. And in your home practice, I'd recommend doing anywhere between 3 and 6 repetitions, So you're going to do quite a few more of those, okay? So here we go. On the inhale, the arms go forward and up. I gaze at the thumbs gently. On the exhale, I'm bowing down, turning my head to the left. I like to put my left hand on top of my right this time. Inhaling, I'm going to swing strongly back up. On the exhale, with control, I'm going to bow forward and down, bringing the side of my head to the ground, changing the hand that's on top. Inhale, coming up and out. And exhale the arms forward and down. Let's try that again. You could take your arms out to the side and up as an alternative, and you could swan dive forward and down, taking your hands onto the sacrum area as your head turns to the left. Inhale, coming up smoothly, arms out to the side. Exhale, taking it to the other side. That might actually, with the arms out to the side, be a little bit easier for some of you if you have some weakness in the lower back area. Let's do the first version again, since we have a little bit of time here. Inhale the arms forward and up. Exhaling, bowing down. Left hand on top of the right, head turned to the left. Inhale, swing back up. Bowing forward and down, head turns to the right, right hand on top. Inhale, come back up. And exhale the arms down in front. Let's do the second version for good measure. Inhale the arms out to the side and up. Exhale, swan diving. Head to the left, left hand on top. Inhale, coming back up and out. Exhaling, taking the head to the right, right hand on top. Inhale, come up and out. And then exhale the arms down. Give the arms a quick little shake. And, you know, that is a great one to warm the body up. I definitely feel warmer after doing that. So it's definitely a heating little practice. Again, cautions on those that might have some weakness or sensitivity in the lower back, tightness in the knees. You can always let the hips stay a little higher. Make sure you can land softly. You don't want to gain momentum and plow your head into the ground. Not going to be good for your neck and head if that were the case. So again, experiment the first time or two. If this is not something you've ever done in your practice, definitely take the first round or two just to go slow enough that you make sure that everything's fine. You can always bring your hands out in front of you if you felt like you needed to slow yourself down on the descent. So dynamic thunderbolt pose, utilizing a block. Play around with that in your home practice, see what you think. And don't forget to follow me on Facebook and YouTube at Baxter Bell Yoga. And I hope to see you at a live streaming yoga class soon. Please check my website to see my full schedule. And until the next time, thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste.